The chair's making noise. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Nice to have you with us.
For anybody that's brand new, my name is Doug, and this is my wife.
I'm Ro.
Yep, and we are Major Win. We are getting the morning fired up. Oh, we got Kelly Debs with us. Good morning, Kelly Debs. We got Paul Rose. We got Primo Chemo. Aloha. Oh, man, we've been missing you guys. And then we got Bearded Picker. Good morning, Bearded Picker. Who needs a sandwich?
Who needs a sandwich? Yeah.
That is so funny. We got
get
lag.
A sandwich stat.
Yeah. All right, stat. All right, just send us your address. All right, we will DoorDash you a sandwich there. But and we got lag. Good morning, lag. Actually, you know what's funny? The image from one of our recent videos where I was talking about the fact that you have kind of coined the whole like peeking between your hands, and that's the snapshot of the video. So if you go back and check it a little while ago, if somebody else goes and sees the video, it'd be kind of weird out of context for them to understand what's actually going on. But hey, and good morning, Mike Sauer. Good to have you with us, man.
You're skipping Fraulein Donna.
Oh, and Fraulein Donna, our beloved
Good morning,
moderator.
Fraulein Donna.
So great to see you. Always a pleasure. She's such an awesome moderator. She's totally on her A game. So Fraulein Donna, for all that don't know, that's Ro's mom. But it's really cool that she does a great job of keeping an eye on the chat. And so she'll send Ro text messages like, by the way, hey, you missed the message and everything. I mean, we all still miss some of them, but
she's our producer. She helps us keep on track.
Yeah, she totally is. She's a great producer too. Wow, you got a ton of people rolling in. We got Silverhair Stacker. Good morning, Todd. Let's talk about returns. We got Junk Trader. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Coming over from the Nutty Crew. Good morning. Mr. Sadie, finally a show with some integrity. LOL, that's funny. Cindy Roach, good morning. Texas Bandit. Perky. Oh, that's funny. And then Ping G, good morning, Doug and Ro, and the chat. And then Queen City Picker, good morning.
But did you say hi to Mike Seller?
I think I did, but you know what? Let's say hi twice. Good morning for a second time, Mike Seller. We appreciate you.
It's so good to have you guys all with us today. We did take a break yesterday. There was a couple of things going on in our schedule and a couple of other shows that were on at the same time. So we wanted to give everyone their time and space. But we're happy to be back with you this morning. We have lots going on. The last few days have been very busy for us. So we hope that you guys have been very productive too. Not as many sales yesterday as we would have liked.
Yeah.
But still it was a good day.
But let's see here. Texas Bandit, Beard will be here in a moment. Had to visit the little boys room because that's fine. And by the way, too, so our dog, she's pretty far off screen, but in case you hear some kind of like crunching noise.
She's very happy chewing on her bone.
Yeah, she's like, all right, we're all getting up in the morning. We're all getting excited. And so she's like, all right, you guys are getting to work. I'm getting to work. And so she's just destroying one of her toys. So it's great. But and then lag, Doug, if a customer wants to return an item out of the return window, would you take it? So that was a big topic on the previous show was whether or not to take a particular return. You know, it's funny too that I was thinking about a concept that I think is really, it's such good life advice. It came up on another show the other day. I can't remember if it was the 3P podcast or if it was Bearded Picker. I mean, at some point too, it's like that there's certain topics that kind of blur together. So hopefully I'm giving credit where it's due, but there was a topic that came up that was really interesting about beware of lazy but ambitious people. And that was such a good point that was discussed about the fact that people that are lazy, so they don't want to do the work, but they're highly ambitious where they want stuff and they want to achieve stuff. You feel attacked? Oh yeah, you feel lazy but ambitious. But yeah, but it's funny though that that's such good life advice too, because really too, on some level, lazy but ambitious individuals, either the laziness or the ambition comes into play when you've got individuals that are really stubborn buyers over returns, or in some cases sellers themselves that aren't putting in the work, but that affects everybody. That turns into bad buyers, but it also.
So I kind of agree with Matt. Matt says no returns outside of 30 days period. I kind of agree with that. We don't do 60 days. We do 30 days. However, I can't imagine.
We do 30 days.
We do 30 days. You're mature. And I can imagine though some very slight situations where I might accept a return outside of 30 days, but it would be pretty extreme. It would definitely have to be something where it was 100 billion% our fault with something. Then I might go ahead and honor that. But yeah, in general, no.
Okay, so I like Bearded's comment. So if Ro doesn't read an Amazon listing, first of all, it's cute that you don't think that she would read like the finest of the fine print from the Amazon. It's like, first of all, Ro is not one of those lazy people where it's like she will. If I bring up a thing
If
about,
I'm gonna play the game, I'm gonna win.
oh yeah, well yeah, but she'll be like,
If I
she'll
can
know,
help it.
she'll know the contract backwards and forwards, and I'll be
I
like,
doubt that,
okay,
but
I mean, all right, great. No, but
I
you,
do try to know what I'm getting into.
she does super
I
thorough
already got
research before
tricked
she
when I
makes.
married him, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen.
That's
again.
true. She didn't read the fine
I
print once.
didn't read the fine print.
Never again, Scott. Never again. But yeah, it's so funny. Kelly Dibbs, I have to leave the June gloom and go out to the Inland Empire Rancho Cucamonga for Memorial today. Oh, sorry to hear that. A friend's mother passing away.
Oh,
It will be hot out there. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Who said that?
That was Callie Debs.
Oh, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, really sorry to hear about that. But
and it
Kelly
will
Debs.
be hot out there.
Yeah, so sorry for the loss, but also too sorry for having to deal with all that heat out there. But I mean, at least it will be a change of weather, like you mentioned. So
and I'm happy that you are able to support the family. That does mean a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Callie Deb's always very supportive about that. So yeah, wish you all the best with that. Callie Deb's, our heart goes out to you and your friend who lost their mama. Paul Rose, glad you said that, Ro. I was thinking, is he talking about me? Oh, that's really funny. I mean, hey, we all get a piece, right? We are either on the sales side or because we had a moment. So yeah. Den de Cordipo, we do free returns, no excuses. It's my hard stop rule. That's great.
So you didn't finish Bearded's comment.
Yeah.
So he said, if I don't, what is it? Am I going to bitch about it being Amazon's fault? So I have complained about a few things with Amazon, and you are right. If it's outside of the window, they don't generally take it. But I actually have had them return things outside of the window due to an extreme situation. So to answer that question, and that is why I would do the same thing, because there are some situations that are a little extreme when it's like legitimately not anyone's fault, but sometimes a return does need to be made.
So let's see here. Mr. Sadie, ouch, Mike, that's funny. Mr. Sadie, no comment on Todd's return. My inheritance is in jeopardy. That's really funny. Swamp Digger, good morning, Can't Stay. Well, Glenn, good to have you with us for even a minute, man. Much appreciated. Darth Rifter, looks like I'm getting my first negative feedback today. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. But good to have you with us, Darth Rifter. But it's really motivating me to not touch eBay today. Yeah.
Good morning, and I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that really stinks. But
yeah, sorry, bud.
You never know; they might not give you bad feedback, but still, either way, that stinks.
Yep. Yeah.
Good morning,
so
Record Crate. You're here for the win.
Hey, good morning, Adam. Thank you again for shipping the records. And I'm just going to put myself out there and say that Record Crate is super awesome for the fact that I had a typo in my address. We're buying some records from Record Crate. I had a typo in my address. Adam, when he received the address, he even reached out and said, just want to confirm that this is the correct address for you. Him wanting to check it by me, I looked at it and still saw that it was incorrect.
Can't believe he did
for some reason, my eyes glazed over. I'm like, yes, that's the correct address. And this is where I was the buyer. That was the problem. And still approved it. And then caught it. I was just like, you know what? I'll just double check one more time because I looked at it when I was distracted. So I caught it, and then I went back and I was like, oh, actually, there is a typo in this address. And I looked at where it would be sent. It would be sent to like a farm out in the middle of nowhere nearby us and everything. And so what I ended up doing is I called Adam up, and he was so gracious and kind. He goes, you know what? It hasn't gone out yet. I will have to reprint the label. But he goes, it's no problem. We'll get that done for you. And so he, on the spot, adjusted it, corrected the label and everything, and got it ready to go, and was so kind about the fact that I made a big mistake. It interrupted his day. And that was excellent customer service, Adam. So I'm just going to put you out on the floor and just say thank you so much for doing that. You were extremely kind, and it made for such an awesome buying experience. So yeah, That's really awesome of you to do that.
We did miss Mike Seller's comment where he said that he found his motivation after receiving a $3,000 bill to fix his truck. That will give you motivation, and that hurts. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here. Let's see. Silver Hair Stacker Roe probably looked up Doug on Criminal List. That's hilarious. Mike Seller saying hi to Adam. Our little pup just came up there.
You want to say hi?
All right, Mom.
You can sit with Mom.
Smacked her head to the side of the chair.
She did it herself.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. So they're saying hi to Glenn. Kelly Debs, I do free returns as well. Yeah. So just in case anybody's wondering, our typical return policy is 30 days free returns. And we will sometimes consider it outside of that, but also too, we consider a lot of factors. Does the buyer look like they have a pattern of doing this to a lot of sellers? Because we do not want to train a bad buyer wherever possible. But we also too don't want to lose the humanity side of it and be considerate. If somebody just is like, you know what? Hey, I got the item. I lost track of it. We've all done it where it just slipped a little bit outside of the time frame. We don't want to be, we don't want to be so hard-headed about it that we're sticking to something stubbornly. So, we don't want to be exception-based, but we don't want to be stubbornly rule-based either. So, a nice balance there. We're hoping for what we're striving for. Let's see here. Mr. Sadie, guilty with an excuse, Your Honor. That's hilarious. Bearded Todd has a $22 return. Just take it. You'll need grace extended to you. That's funny. Queen City Picker. Oh, Mr. Sadie, your brother by another mother, Doug, is after his part of the inheritance. That's hilarious. No, I'm good. I'm good there, Tom and Mr. Sadie. Your inheritance is
uncontested.
Uncontested. I was about to say unconflicted, but it's like that's not the right word. But yeah, it's uncontested. Let's see. Silver Hair Stacker. Doug isn't in county lockup address any longer. That's great. Record Crate. I'm glad it worked out. Thanks for being a vinyl champion. Yeah, no, we're gonna be very happy to have those records. It's gonna be awesome. Darth Thrifter, it's okay. Oh well, if it doesn't happen now, it will happen. Each one of us probably eventually, but sales have been good anyway. Yeah, we know ours is coming soon, Darth Thrifter. We've had a good amount of neutral feedback, and but where they were kind of on the edge, you could tell. But I mean, yeah, it's we work like we've already gotten some, and we just know it's going to be coming. It's the nature of the beast with it. But I mean, never feels good. But we're trying to build up our calluses before it really hits, so that it doesn't tear us up. All right, let's see here. Paul Rose, getting sick of taking parcels for my neighbor. Bad enough getting my stuff collected. They're in, but keep their gates locked. They don't want to be bothered, so I am bothered twice on their behalf. Yeah, that's terrible, Paul Rose. That's awful. I mean, are you in a position where you just be like, I'm sorry, I don't take the packages either now? It's like, it's a big problem. So
that's a huge responsibility. I mean, especially if you have good neighbors, then it's fine. But yeah, they need to set up one of those boxes where they can get deliveries outside of the gate.
Yep. And then Mike Seller, puppy alert, junk traders, sweet puppy.
We're talking about you, Leia.
That's so funny. And then lag, it always slips out. Queen City Picker, that's the new phrase, training a bad buyer. Well, yeah, no, honestly though, that's, again, like the expression that we talked about earlier of the lazy but ambitious people training a bad buyer, that that's not an expression we came up with. I forget where I first learned it, so I feel bad that I can't attribute it to the proper source. But just know that's not us. But
we were watching some sort of show that was talking about the massive issue with Amazon and their returns, and how people just buy everything willy-nilly and they're like, oh, I'll just return it, and the massive problem that's causing. And they've even said the same thing, that they are really starting to crack down on accounts that are just notoriously returning things because of the same thing, training bad buyers.
Yep. So let's see here. Darth Thrifter. Let's see. Wait. Okay. I think. Darth Thrifter. I'm the easiest seller to deal with, but if people don't reach out to me, I can't help them. That's fair enough, Darth Thrifter. Yeah. So it sounds like in this case too, the person just decided to go rogue on you, and that's always rough too. That's where the buyer is forgetting that, we're not we're not some
You're
kind of
dealing with real
conglomerate
people,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, we're just small time trying to make it. We are their neighbor. Also trying to be a good neighbor and just survive. So tactical see that's funny. Dendicor Depot, I used to feel the way you guys do until I
Yeah.
had someone try to rent a $300 train set over Christmas. They filed the return one day on day 31, citing shipping damage. Sorry, but I'm not that guy anymore.
That's true. When people try to rent things from you,
Yeah.
there have been times when we've teased that, oh, actually, it was one of you guys teasing about it that, yeah, but we're not a clothing rental
Yeah.
store. It's like, no, you bought it. Yeah. Be happy with your purchase. If you wore it, keep it.
Oh, and good morning, Beth, reseller rowboat. So nice to have you with us. That's awesome. And so yeah, no, and that's we totally understand. I mean, that's a circumstance we take into account too. That like if
Yeah.
it's if you're looking at something that people typically use for a particular season or whatever, and we end up
Yeah.
getting it back right after that season ends, it's like like if it's the winter season and then we sell you a snow jacket late January or something, and then like as we get towards March, it's like actually, what? I think I'm kind of like I don't think it's all right fit or whatever. Maybe that's another factor to take into account. I mean, there's a lot of dynamic things going on, but I think too, Beth did a nice job of kind of resetting the whole discussion when she arrived on the last chat, where she's just like, "How much is it? $27? Take the return." Sometimes it's just that simple of.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Oh, you read that earlier. Ball's my neighbor. That's hilarious. Lag man, quick with the quips. Let's see. Paul Rose, I'm too much of a pushover, but it was twice yesterday. Yeah, I mean, come on. We've had some pretty rugged neighbors.
Yeah, no, that will jade you. That is kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Did we say hi to reseller rowboat? I missed it. If we did. Okay.
Yes, we said.
Good morning.
Yep. That's Beth. And so, Jar Thrifter, we have a Dropbox at the post office, but it was full, and the guy at the desk acted like I was bringing it to him. Oh, well, he said does not fit in the box. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Jar Thrifter, no tinfoil hats. I'll have to send you a few. You know what? We're ready for our tinfoil hats there, Jar Thrifter. That's so funny. Loved your last video, man. So great, and it's nice to have you on. It feels like we've missed you for a little bit, but
yeah, we've been missing you.
We know you've been taking a mental break and have had plenty going on, but just know we always appreciate when you're here. No pressure for the future, but we always like you. Hey, and then Biff Boffo, good late morning. Great to see you, man. Always nice to have you on, Biff.
Good morning.
And so let's see, back up a little ways. Resale Rowboat, I have 6-day free returns and no returns in my box right now, mostly clothing. Yeah, so Beth, we also deal primarily in clothing. We're grateful. We really do have a very low amount of clothing returns that end up coming through.
I'd say we only average maybe 1 or 2 returns a month, maybe. Sometimes it's not even that high. But I was wondering, when you switched from 30 to 60 days, how do you feel? Because we've debated about going to 60 days. Yeah. I honestly just don't want the headache. After a month's time has gone by, like I close out months, I move on. After a month, I feel like that's good enough. But how do you feel that changing it to 60 days? Because I know eBay does, you make eBay happy. I can't think of the word, but you make eBay happy when you do 60 days. So I'm just wondering how that's affected you.
Yeah. And actually, I think Bearded and a few others.
She says 60 days, they forget about it.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in the boat too of, I think it's better.
I've definitely forgotten about it.
Yeah. No, I think it's better to go 60 days. So this is where we have a little bit, we won't have the conflict on screen, but this is where we have a little bit of back and forth. The Rose like, hey, 30 days, and then we close it out. We don't worry about it. And then I'm fully in the camp of let's switch it over to 60 days.
Because then you're going to have people renting things from you.
They hypothetically could, but I don't think it really works out that way. And then they initially, with making the purchase, they are able to see.
Lag says 90 days.
Yeah. Don't. It's like, don't take the.
I've learned now, Lag.
Don't take the bait. But I think 60 days with the upfront purchase, it gives people more buyer confidence.
That's true.
Upfront, and
I have no problem buying from 30-day return policies, though.
That's true, but I think 60 days is that little extra oomph, and I don't think that many would end up taking advantage of the full 60 days. That's just, again, we have not really tried it, so we haven't had a proven model. I'm going off of what other people have experienced, and then figuring how it might fit into our thing. I don't know. But let's see here. Let's see. Paul Rose, Darth dropped me a hat too. I'm in permanent eBay conspiracy mode. Beard wouldn't approve. That's
okay. I was just reading Cindy Roach's comment. I had a return request, Sports Brawl. It was too small. Had to cut it off. I need to return. No kidding. Seriously, like, okay.
Cindy Roach, I'm glad Rogue caught that comment because I
okay.
Excellent.
I've been putting sports bras on for a pretty long time. You can tell when it's not going to fit. What was wrong with them?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Oh boy, that's gonna start its own like whole train of conversation that.
Oh my, that is so.
That frankly,
stupid.
we just don't have enough time for. It's gonna be a short show, but yeah, that's funny. So, yeah, like 20 days, the trap. Resale rowboat. Obviously, Todd's buyer forgot after 30 days. Yeah, that's. Yeah, he forgot until after 30 days. That's funny. Let's see here. Thrifter, I don't take returns on my tinfoil hats because they get too sweaty. That is very funny. Queen City Picker, I agree with Roe, or change your name to Perky Mart. You're so funny. Silverhair Stacker, can I return my subs? Are you talking about me and Mr. Sadie? Because frankly, that hurts, Todd. That's cold-blooded. Let's see here. Biff Buffalo, lifetime warranties for all. That's really funny. Breeder Picker, 60 days of psychology. Get used to it and don't return. Proven to get less returns. So proven to get less returns. And I really do trust Bearded's advice on a lot of things that I think his experience. Yeah, I'm telling you, babe, I think it's at least worth trying. And then, if we all of a sudden see a flood of returns, we could always adjust it. It's who just adjusted their return policy? Was it Mercari or Poshmark? Where it's like they just roll it back. But let's see here. But yeah, I do definitely.
We've only been wearing them for 3 months.
Yeah. Oh man. Too. That hits particularly close to home.
So now you own a thrift store.
Oh, it's a Junk Trader, says Mercari. Thank you, Junk Trader. But yeah. So it's actually it's really interesting that if you look at clothing, so. This whole discussion is kind of like skeezing me out a little bit just for the fact that I've been doing so much cleaning of clothing as of lately. And the idea of somebody wearing something for a prolonged time, it's conjuring up all of these thoughts about all the different stains and different things that we've been dealing with a ton of.
All clothing.
I mean, we're kind of desensitized to it overall now. But yeah, if we had $1 for every nasty, weird stain on clothing we've had to deal with, we would already just be able to close the reselling side of the business and just retire on that because it is
So Reseller Robot did bring up a good point. You won't see an increase in the number of returns unless you're selling more items, and that is just volume equals more returns. So that does make sense. Well, all right. Well, that's interesting. I know he's kind of been kicking that idea around for quite a while, and I keep poo-pooing it.
Let's see here.
I can drop off my wash.
So Super Stacker, now you still get to inherit one half of the dead pile. All right, fine. Well, then I want the toothbrush holders, Todd. I want the toothbrush holders.
He's been telling me a lot about the toothbrush.
Calling it right now. I got enough Band-Aids. All right. I'm sorry. And earplugs. But yeah, that's really funny. Okay, let's see. Resale Rowboat Row. You won't see an increase in number of returns unless you are selling more items.
Yeah, that's just the more volume, which that totally does make sense. So.
Man, she's spitting truth this morning.
I'll keep it under advisement.
Let's see. And then lag. Whoa, yeah. And the Darth Drifter, can I drop my wash off at your house? Just bring it on, Darth. Just next time you're out in Southern California, just let us know.
We're pretty good at laundry now.
We actually did just upgrade our washing machine. I think we mentioned that in a previous video, but we upgraded our washing machine so that it's a lot more energy efficient and also it's better at cleaning clothes. We had an older unit.
Game changer.
Yeah, we had an older unit that we're using that finally kicked the bucket. So that was absolutely a game changer. Let's see, lag. I want the box resizer Todd keeps under his picture station. Yeah, it's that little heart.
I know the heart.
Why does that little heart, there's a little heart icon that keeps blocking the part of the very first sentence at the bottom.
Scroll up
Yeah. So, but yeah, for our goals today, so it's my last day for my regular job, which is going to start right after this. And so we'll wrap it up. We're actually getting ready to gear up for a huge project for my regular work.
It's not your last day. It's your last day of the week.
Sorry, yeah, not my last day ever. At least hopefully not. But yeah, it's my last day of the week for my regular day job, and so I've got tomorrow off, which will be nice. We're gonna be trying to catch up on some eBay work and everything. But yeah. Oh, and Patricia, so great to see you. Thank you for stopping in to say hi again. Our beloved bookworm. Always appreciate Patricia. And Patricia, you were on pretty late with us last night. I know you, or I shouldn't say I know. I think you're on the East Coast, but I saw you on with the late night premiere from Hayfro Cells, and so you're definitely been working hard, working late. So appreciate having you on so early this morning. But really appreciate you.
And I think Tactical Z is causing problems. So what are you going to do when they request a return to return something after 61 days?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, you know.
He's like, let's restir this.
Then we need to go back to lax policy and just do 90-day returns.
There you go. Yeah, or lifetime returns for all. What was it? I forget who said that. Was it Dendicor, but or Biff Boffo, lifetime warranties for all. But that's really funny though. Yeah, I mean, just. You got to be reasonable about
120 days. He won't stop.
Flag. Oh yeah.
Just 365. Just 365.
That would
if
be.
If you're ever unhappy with this purchase, by all means, please return it to me.
Yeah, that would be great if we just put in there like we have a 67-day return policy. Like just make sure 60 days in 1 week. If you don't get it by then, there's no help for you. But Patricia confirmed Pennsylvania. Well, that's wonderful. How's the sourcing for you out in Pennsylvania, Patricia? I know you probably mentioned it on Primo Chemo's channel or in other places, but I'm just forgetting right now. So if you don't mind saying, you don't have to tell me what your sources are, but is sourcing good for what you're selling? I'm just kind of curious. I've probably done a hot dart. That's funny. Let's see here. Lag 365. That's not getting carried away. We'll do like 366-day returns.
I was kind of thinking that.
That'd be funny.
You get 1 year and 1 day.
1 year and 1 day. If you don't return it by that point, there's no.
Well, you got to take into consideration leap years. So, let's be fair.
All right, let's see here. It does amaze me at the anger and disdain for online customers by resellers online. And then the constant complaining about sales. There's probably a correlation. Fair point there, yeah. Bearded, for sure. Yeah, I mean, at least... Yeah, I don't think you have an issue with this either, but at least for me, it's like I don't really get upset at the returns. I get upset at the situation, but I don't get upset at the customers. So like I'll get upset like if we get hit with a large return or something. Or one thing that does frustrate me is when somebody will buy a whole lot of a similar item and then they'll only pick one that they want to keep and they want to return the rest. I mean, I know that's part of the business and everything, but still, that's really frustrating when you have to eat a large return for them wanting only one item and everything. But at the end of the day, yeah, if you get stirred up with things that'll make you mad, you're just gonna be angry.
Yeah, the only time we get frustrated really is, and that's why you can start telling your problem customers when they ask a billion questions. They want to know the size of this. Can you please, measure the cuff? Can you do the like really extreme questions? And then you give them a massive discount. You send it out to them. Everything's hunky dory. You're like, okay, whew, finally finished with that customer. And then they open a return. You're like, that's the only time when we do get frustrated because of the time invested in that original sell to begin with. But even those are pretty few and far between.
Yeah. And Paul Rose made a good point too. No kidding. Nick and Andrea Hills had a return from an Amazon buyer after over a year. A broken toy and Amazon refunded them. Yeah, that would be a challenge. I mean, but I think going in with Amazon, that's one thing that we'd always assume is that no matter what, Amazon's going to side with the buyer, even if the buyer is clearly kind of lopsided in the wrong direction.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Sadie. I didn't even know we were at 133. I had no idea. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's so cool. And actually, too, I mentioned it the other day, but Phoenix Sales 85, I mentioned it on our show on Tuesday. He started just like a couple weeks ago, but his content is so well put together. And he's like brand new to reselling. He's brand new to YouTube. And he's killing it. Like he's destroying it. He's got like 265 subscribers. And I don't think he's buying anything. I think just the video quality is so good that he's getting a lot of people.
He's only come out with like 3 videos too.
Yeah, and what's funny too is after we did our show last Tuesday, a bunch of people went over there. You saw the subscribers jump up right from that, which is awesome. We want good content creators and those that are, whether they're brand new or longtime sellers, if they're clearly putting the work, and he's
putting us to shame with the amount of work he's putting into YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's doing things and we're like, we didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. So it's really cool that he's put in the work. So what he's earning, he's deserving. So we really do appreciate that. And so if you haven't already checked out his channel, go check it out, because he's already figured out, like we haven't even figured out yet how to do like a proper screen sharing and all that stuff. And he is so good about, he's got like a headset on, he's sharing his numbers, he's talking about his early sales and everything that, and then plus he has the experience of not being jaded by, all the challenges that you run into with both YouTube and eBay. But anyways, if you haven't given it a watch, check it out, because he seems like a solid dude. So Callie Debs, can you repeat the name of the YouTuber? In fact, let me go ahead and put it in the chat, just so that we can. Here, that's the name right there. Make sure I spelled that correctly. Yeah, so Phoenix Sales 85. So yeah, but it seems like a really solid guy, a really interesting. He's got a very engaging way of how he speaks. So we've been enjoying his content. Super cool.
So
and let him know we sent you, because he has no idea who we are, which is great.
He has no idea who we are.
We've been like cheering him on, and we've commented a little bit, but he's getting such a flood of support that he doesn't know us from anything. But if you let him know that, hey, we came over because of Major Win, it'll hopefully help him understand that, like, we're really his champion right now for starting off.
So Reseller Robo said, I don't do extra measurements. My items are sealed before storage. I tell them that we have 60-day free returns for that reason. That's interesting. We a lot of times will try to go the extra mile and give them really whatever request they want. We seal up our packages in basically like large Ziploc bags so they can be opened. That's not, that might be a good way to kind of detract some of the problem ones that just ask question after question. It's like, I don't know, figure it out. If you want it, cool. If you don't, return it. It's not a bad way to handle it. I kind of like that. Yeah. Thanks for that advice.
Yeah, totally agree. So let's see here.
Actually, because should I tell them about what happened with the table yesterday?
Oh, if you want. Yeah. We're doing a local sale on this red table we've had forever.
It's this really cool vintage red table. It's beautiful. Like it is such a beautiful table, but we don't need it. We don't need it anymore. And I'm doing a local sale. It's a round table. So we did put a clothing measuring tape. So it's not a standard.
So Robo's comment is going to be right along the lines of.
So I laid down the measuring tape, and it's a round cup table. So you're measuring the circumference of it. It is 28 inches around. It is 31 inches tall. I show the pictures in the listing, so it's very clear to see what it is. She writes me, hey, can you give me the measurements? Your measurements don't make any sense. And so I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And then she questions, are you using a clothing measuring tape? That's not in inches. I need a real measuring tape. And I'm like, okay, fine. So we get a real measuring tape. We take pictures again. She's like, this is literally her response. Oh my God, you have no idea how to measure. Don't even worry about it anymore. You clearly don't know what you're doing. And I'm like,
and to be clear, I've seen the pictures. In every case, the measurements in inches, and so it really doesn't matter if it's clothing tape.
It's a measuring tape.
But it's a measuring tape.
Well, I told her, I was like, this is a construction measuring tape. Like contractors, it's a professional contracting measuring tape. How is this wrong? She's like, you never mind. And I'm like, wow. So anyways, yeah, that's what you get sometimes when you try to really help people. You get insulted in that you don't know how to measure anything.
Yeah, we use two different kinds of tape measures and everything. We clearly showed it in the pictures. Never had an issue like this before.
Never had an issue like this.
They're just like, you don't know how to measure. And it's like, well.
The fact that she actually used OMG, you have no idea how to measure. I'm like, I've been doing this for a while. I think I know how to.
So that was a pretty swift block.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't block on that app. Well, but anyways, now I know her name.
Well, it's a mental block. We're not even going to worry about it.
All right. Since I missed the comment, what did
Dendico Depot's like, yeah, you already spent too much time on that. Yeah. I mean, we try to go the extra mile. It's where we bring a lot of joy to customers that in turn brings us joy. But with that too, you'll get the nice guy penalty sometimes.
Patricia, that's not an issue. That's a troll.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen. And the best thing that we enjoy about the situation is actually builds up our own ability to be able to process that kind of negativity and just kind of do that with Row, where I do like the mental drag and delete. Like I'm in my own brain with a mouse and like a little keyboard, and like I'm dragging the item to the delete folder, and it's like, oh, I deleted it. Great, it's gone. And yeah, like the little mental drag and delete, and it's gone. It's no longer there. So yeah, it's such a good thing to just let it go.
I would have blocked them at high.
Yeah, that is really funny. Oh man, that is so great. But yeah, Patricia, you make a good point. That's not an issue. That's a troll. Queen City Picker, 1 inch is 1 inch, unless it's men talking to women. That is. Tom, you're funny. Let's see. Lag trolls the worst.
Yeah, that's just like, I've never been insulted over my measuring skills before. That was a new one for me.
That is really funny. They're all laughing about that now. Paul Rose, there are plenty of trolls. I go out of my way with customer service, but some are not and never will be buyers. Often they have zero feedback. Yeah, I mean, we're getting better. We still have a long way to go, but we're getting better about being able to determine the trolls. And what's really a challenge still is when you've got like a very what's the nice word? A very tactful individual that starts off with their questions that kind of gets you like, okay, this might be a normal human looking for answers on things. But I mean, at the first OMG, you don't know how to measure. That's like, okay, we're not going to go through this because.
So did you mention Paul Rose's comment here? After you have had half a dozen questions or more of an item and have answered them, usually when the information is already there, did you answer that one?
I've not.
Okay. Usually when the answer is already there, I tend to say, if in doubt, please don't order. There is a limit. Sorry, it was a little distant from my eyes. I'm glad
you caught that one. I missed that.
We agree with that. And we have actually taken down a listing when someone was just so persistent. Like, we don't want you to have it anymore. Yeah. And like, we don't want to necessarily like block them. So we'll just take the listing down for like a week. We'll then go and block them and then relist it. Because sometimes it's like, you can just tell like you are going to be a problem and we really don't want to deal with you.
Let's see. Queen City Picker, have a great day. Got to run. Hey, so nice to have you with us there, Tom. And thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you always for the hospitality of having me on your show. That's always a blast. I was laughing so hard on you guys' show.
He does love it.
And then Lag says, bye, buddy. But yeah, well, and we're going to wrap up our show too. We're actually going a few minutes longer than we typically do. We just want to get everybody fired up. Although I forgot my tea this morning and you forgot your coffee.
That is true.
But we just like to get everybody fired up for hopefully a productive work day. I know for me, so I've got my regular day job that I'm about to go to. But then also after that, between today for the afternoon and tomorrow, I'm going to be focusing on being a listing machine when it comes to getting a bunch of pictures done. We got a lot of items to sort out. And we've come across a really nice batch of kind of vintage cowboy shirts. Those always sell super good for us. So hopefully we can get those up and listed. But you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for your constant support. We really do appreciate just the fact that you guys come here with a positive spirit. And, you know, we can joke with each other and everything, but ultimately we get to a productive place. We view that as the positive spirit. But you guys are loads of fun. We super appreciate you, and thank you for helping us get fired up with it.
Oh, and Cindy Rose, please tell Jen that we said hello today too. I know she's working it hard, but
and Diane's here. Said hi. Diane Vanderlinden, it's so great to have you with us. Wonderful to have you with us. Thank you. So awesome. But you guys are so great. Look at all that. Have a great day, everyone. Cindy Rose.
Kelly Debs.
Just hit 10 up this morning. All right, Cindy Rose.
I love Record Crate. Go make it happen.
Go make it happen. Yeah, no, and actually there was an expression was shared on Flippin' Ain't Easy's channel the other day, and that was, let's defy the summer benchmark. But let's crush it from whatever the summer provided last year. And so we're a stacker, stay perky. But yeah, we absolutely appreciate you guys. Have a rocking day and go get those major wins. Go get those major wins. And then
get a major win.
One thing we're going to be doing too, so that just everyone can kind of make a mental note of, we're bouncing around the idea of changing up either the format of the lives or really focusing on doing a lot of pre-recorded content, because we want to make sure that we provide really straightforward videos that show our process so that you guys can help us to identify where we've got opportunities or make recommendations. again, it's not so that we could be a guru, but really so that we could share what has been working with us so far, and maybe optimize it, or if necessary, change it to make improvements, because we trust so many of you that you got so much experience. So we really do appreciate that. But you guys are awesome. Primo Chemo Perky out. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And again, get those major wins. Stay perky. We love you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye now.